Have you ever been in a situation where you've been asked to describe something to a group, say a dog, and you go into great detail to describe this dog that you have in your head? Everyone in the group is nodding their heads, and you have the feeling that the entire group is completely with you until much later. Then you find out that the Cocker Spaniel you were describing was seen as being a Doberman or a German Shepherd or whatever each individual in the group associated with. Not only is this a communication issue, but we need to make sure that we all have the same definition of what we're talking about, or what we're always talking about. Otherwise, you end up in recreating a situation similar to what I just described. We use data dictionaries and glossaries to make sure that all the terminology you use in your assignment is identified correctly, and most importantly, understood by all your stakeholders. For example, an organizational unit may differentiate between a client and a customer because, well, whereby the client is the party you have the contractual agreement with, whereas the customer may be the direct recipient of your services. Some situations might require you to have even a more precise definition, like the term patient in a hospital. What are the components we're looking at? Let's start with a glossary. A glossary is used to document terms that are unique to your audience. The reason why it's created is to make sure that all the stakeholders understand the meaning of certain words that are actually being used. A glossary consists of terms related to the domain you're describing, as well as any cross-referencing of definitions you might have. The next component is a data dictionary. Data dictionaries are made up of standard definitions of data elements in comparison to the glossary, which concentrates exclusively on unique terms. Here, most likely, will cross-referencing of terms also be required. A data dictionary has two different parts, primitive data and composite data elements. Let's look at these two parts more in detail. Primitive data elements include name for that of what we're describing, any aliases that might be used, values or meanings tied to that item, and a description of the term in question. Composite data elements, the data I just described, and includes components like sequences, which order they appear, repetitions, how often the terms show up, and any other optional parameters you may think of that are applicable, right? Well, remember my story the next time you describe an animal, and I'll see you at the next video lecture.